So once again, this is what we are creating today. Now, isn't that fun? It's super fun, and as I said, it's very easy to make, and it's really inexpensive also. You know, so if you're having, you know, any type of party for 4th of July, or, you know, or whatever that's coming up, you could create a bunch of these and put them on your tables, and you know, it wouldn't cost you hardly anything. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So let's get started, and let me show you what you're going to need for this awesome project. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so what you're going to need to start with is some corrugated paper. Okay, this is, you know, I can't even remember where I got this, but you know, you can get corrugated paper, I'm sure, anywhere. I know that Michael's once upon a time did have some, so you might want to check that out. If not, you have boxes, I'm sure, so you can get your own corrugated paper with your boxes. So that's what you're going to need to create the base of this project. All right? Okay, so for this project, what we're going to do, let me show you here. Okay, so I've already got mine started. Okay, just so you guys can, you know, so it'll go a little bit faster. But what you're going to do is you're going to take 4 pieces of corrugated paper, which is 4.5 this way and 6 inches this way. Okay, so you're going to cut them in 4. Like this piece right here, all I did was I folded it in half, I cut it, and then those were the pieces that I used. Okay, so you're going to need 4 of them. All right, so once you've done that, and you got all 4 of your pieces, okay, then the next thing that you're going to do is measure out a 3-inch square here. Okay, you want a 3-inch square. So what I did was I just measured out the back, a 3-inch square, and then once I cut it, it gave me this. So then I just laid this down on the backs of my other pieces and cut them out that way. Okay, so you want to do that on all 4 of your pieces, 3-inch square. All right, so once you have that done, then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to measure out 4 holes on your corrugated paper. Now, I did not measure these, you know, like super close or anything like that, guys. I just kind of eyeballed it, and, you know, it works fine. But before you put your windows and stuff in, you want to take care of all of this part first. Okay, so what you're going to do then is once you have those holes punched, then you're going to put in some of these large eyelets. Okay, now you can use smaller eyelets if you don't have the larger ones. Again, these are, you know, super easy to find. I got these at Hobby Lobby. But you can use the smaller ones. I just wanted the bigger because not only was I tying it together, but on the front I was also adding some extra ribbon. So I wanted a little bit bigger eyelet, okay? So you're going to punch your 4 holes and then set your eyelets in. And you're going to do that on all 4 of your pieces. Okay, so once you've done that, then that is going to give you all of these pieces for your luminary, right? Okay, so then what we're going to do here, oops, drop that off over there. Okay, so then what we're going to do, as you can see, I've already started here where I've just laid them out, and then I started tying them together so I can create my square luminary. Okay, so let me find the rest of my silver here because I was using a lot of that last night. Okay, so all I did then was I just took it, okay, ran it through each one, Okay, scooch this over here, and then I just tied it off. Now, you'll notice that I kind of left some of the ties a little bit longer. Now, you don't want to do that with your finished project when it's all done, but while you're creating it, you want to leave those just a little bit longer, just so you want to make sure that once you have them all tied together, you want to make sure, let me cut this one real quick, and I'm only going to leave the one side long, okay? But you want to make sure that you have enough wiggle room to where you can bend your luminary together, okay? So once you have those all done and all tied together, then you're ready to put your windows in. Okay, so I'm going to set this off to the side for now. All right, and now we're going to have some fun. Okay, the two stencils that I used on this project was the Star Stencil. This is the smaller one that I used this time. And then also I used the stripes. Okay, these are the two stencils that I used for my project today. So what I did from here then, to get started, is I cut a piece of vellum paper 4 inches by 4 inches, okay, a 4-inch square. So once you have your vellum paper cut, and then you're going to cut 4 of these, one for each window. So once you have them cut, then you're ready to put your stencil down and you're ready to add your color. Okay, so what I did here then was start off. Now, I went ahead and I prepped my stencil ahead of time. Okay, I used, and has some stencil tack. You guys remember last week I showed you her paints with Earth Safe finishes? Well, she also has this stencil tack, sorry, okay? And what I did was I just took a paintbrush, dipped it in, and just kind of put a little bit on the back, and then it was ready to go. Now you're using vellum paper, so you don't want to add a whole lot of adhesive, because if you do, then you're not going to be able to get your vellum paper off. Alright, so once you have your stencil prepped, then you're ready to roll. So I'm just going to lay it down here in the center. Okay, and then from there, what I did was I took my Gina K ink pads, and I just went ahead and started adding color to my stencil. Okay, now you're using vellum, so because vellum, you know, the color kind of sits on the top of the vellum. So what you want to do once you have added your color like this, then what you want to do is you want to either, like, you know, just run a heat tool over it just to kind of let it sit. And that's just so you don't smear it. Okay, but you don't need a lot of ink. You really, really don't. So once you've done this, you're going to do 2 of the blue. Okay, so we've done that. And then let me peel this off. Here we go. Okay, and there you go. Okay, that's going to be for one of your windows. So when you're creating your luminary, you want to make 2 of the blue stars. Okay, we're going to do 2 of those. So once we have that one done, we're going to set that off to the side now. And then we're going to do the same thing with the stripes. Now, again, I went ahead and prepped my stencil ahead of time with the stencil tack, so it's already on there and it's ready to go. Okay, so then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to lay it down. And as you can see on these, you guys, I'm not caring about my edges here because you're not going to see them. So that's the reason why you want to cut your vellum 4x4, okay? Because you want to make it bigger than the size of your window in your corrugated paper. So that way you won't have to worry about these edges, okay? And then you have to have something to tape onto it. All right, so for this one, I used this really pretty red. And again, just added the color to my stencil. Okay, super easy. And here we go. And however much color you want is up to you. Okay, if you want it lighter, then you're going to add less ink. If you want it darker, then you're going to add more ink. It's totally up to you. Okay, so once we have that one done, then again, we're going to peel this off. And there you go, and you've got your other stencil piece. So again, you're going to be doing 2 of these, okay? So 2 of the stripes, and then 2 of the stars. Okay, so I'm going to set those over there for now because I already have some here that I've done, and I wanted to, I did them ahead of time just for the simple fact so I could let them dry and I didn't have to get my heat tool out. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over. Alright, so the rest of this is now just very, very simple. What you're going to do is you're going to open this back up, okay, and then you're just going to take some tape or glue, whatever you want to use, and you're going to take your windows, you're going to lay this on the back here, and then you're going to add your vellum, okay, to your corrugated board here, and then that's going to create all of your pretty windows. And it really does look pretty when you put like a battery operated candle in there. It really, really does look pretty. Okay, so then what you're going to do is just peel these off, of course. Alright. And then you're going to do that on all 4 of your pieces. Okay, so we're going to start with the stars here because this is going to be my front. So I'm just going to, let's do it this way for a minute, just so I can kind of see the placement. There we go. Okay, just so you can kind of eyeball your placement there a little bit. And then you're going to set that down right on top of that. Okay? And then that's how you created your windows. So again, you're going to do that on all 4 of these. Okay? And we're going to alternate. And you don't really need a whole lot of tape because, the vellum is pretty thin. So it doesn't take much to adhere to your project. Okay. So I'm going to just do this one more, and then I'm not going to go ahead and do all of them because that would just be redundant. All right. And we kind of already started late anyways, right? Okay, so again, I'm going to take my stripe piece here, and I'm just going to kind of line it up. There we go. And then stick it on. Okay, and again, you're going to do that on the backs of all 4 of your pieces, okay? All right. So once you've done that, and then you're going to finish off by tying your last piece together just like this. Okay? So take your ribbon and tie that last piece on, and then you're going to go back. Once you have that, You're going to go back then and pull these as tight as, as you need them, and then just go ahead and clip those off. You don't need really long tails on there. You're just going to kind of clip them off, okay? And you're going to do that all the way around your luminary. Okay, now, if you're concerned and you want, you want an inside finish, you want your insides to look pretty, then what you can do is before you put your holes and stuff in, you can go ahead and, lay your paper down and then put your holes and stuff in from there if you want to cover it up. But as you can see with my finished one here, I don't think it really matters. I just don't think it matters. Okay, so to finish this off then what I did here on my front piece, now I'm going to cut this one off just so I can show it to you without dragging all of these with. Okay, so this is my front piece here. And then what I did from here was I have some of this blingy stuff that you can get, in the craft store. It comes in sheets, right? And all I did for that was once I had my window in on my front, then I laid these down just like that, and then I just adhered them around my front window. Now, like I said, you can go ahead and, do all of your windows if you want, so you can have it decorated all the way around. I just, for one, I didn't really have time to do it, and I thought that the front looked okay just like it is. But you might want to go ahead and do all of your windows so it can be seen from all sides. But that's totally up to you. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of glue there. And as you can see, I already cut these, okay, to the right sizes that I needed. And then I just framed my window. So you're just going to take your glue and just run it down there. Okay, and then just adhere the bling. Now, you guys know that I love my bling, and if I was not using corrugated paper, if I was using like a regular cardstock or I had a smooth surface, then I would have gone ahead and I would have used my rhinestone genie and I would have added my glitter on that way. But because I had my corrugated paper, I was concerned that I was going to have problems, having the adhesive stick on the corrugated paper. So that was the reason why I went with this route. But I love my rhinestone genie, so that, again, you work with what you got. And sometimes you do need to switch it up. Okay, so we're just going to lay this around and finish that front window off. Okay, there we go. There's that one, and then this is the last. Alright, so there you go. So now it's on there, and it looks nice and pretty. Okay, so then the last thing that I did to kind of decorate it was I took a couple of my wood stars here, and instead of dragging out, my paint and my paintbrush and all of that, I just decided, I didn't want to do that, so I didn't. So what I did was I took some yellow ink here, my Gina K ink, and then I just kind of set it on top like this. And this, I'm telling you, this does get a little bit messy. You do get this everywhere. Okay? But I laid it on there, and then I went back with a pouncer, and that's how I added the color to my stars. instead of using paint, I went ahead and did it this way. You know, because sometimes you don't have, you don't have paint. You may have like 50,000 ink pads and all different kinds of colors, but you don't always have paint, right? So I just went ahead and decorated both, I inked both of my stars here. And then the last thing that I did with these was I took some little pieces of ribbon and I added them to the center of my star, and then I took one of these stickers and I just took that and adhered that to the center of my ribbon, and that's how I finished off my stars. Okay, and then of course once they were done, then I just glued them right onto the front of my luminary. Okay, just like that. Simple, easy to do, quick, inexpensive, but it is a great project. Okay, and then the last thing that I did was I took some extra ribbons, you can see them here, and I just ran them through those top 2 holes, and I just kind of let them hang down, and then that's how I finished it off. And then, as I said, then what you can do is you can take a glass jar, battery operated candles only, or battery operated votives, guys, okay, because you're working with paper, so you don't want to burn up anything. Okay, so you set it in there and you light it, and it looks absolutely beautiful. It really, really is pretty once it's lit. I know that you guys won't be able to see it, but it really, really is pretty when it's lit. But that's how you put that together. Super easy. Now, I wanted to share one more tip with you real quick before I let you go. And that is, if you want to go a little bit more expensive, like, this is a very inexpensive project, right? Okay, it doesn't cost anything. But if you wanted to, go a little bit fancier, what you can do is you can go to Michael's and you can buy these frames, and you can get them for like $1, sometimes 50 cents for these wood frames. And of course it's going to be a lot more work because you're going to have to paint everything and all of that, but this is another alternative that you can use. Okay, and how you would do it is you would just decorate your front, you would paint it or add, pattern paper to it if that's what you wanted to do, and then you're going to drill your holes in your wood, and you're going to need 4 of these, of course, and then you would use your stencils in the same way to create the vellum window. And that way, when you have 4 of them, and you can get the smaller, these smaller frames too. This is a good size frame. But this is just another alternative that I wanted to share with you that you could do if you wanted to go a little bit, fancier. Okay? For me, I loved it the way I did it, but I wanted to give you this option. Okay? Just an idea there for you guys. All right. So, there we go. Wasn't that fun? And super, super easy. And that's, that's what I love about it. It's just it's a very easy project. But the results are really, really, they're really cool. And like I said, you could make quite a few of them and put them on tables, and it would be beautiful for your patriotic party. And of course, don't limit yourself to that. You can also create these for any type of holiday, Christmas, whatever, Thanksgiving. The only thing you're going to do is just change up your stencils, and maybe change your colors and stuff up, and that's it. But it's super easy and very inexpensive, and that's what we like, right? Yeah. Okay, so that is it for me today, you guys. I apologize for all of the technical craziness that was going on earlier. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Let me look real quick to see if anybody had any questions or anything. You guys know that I always go over everything anyways. And okay, Dorothy, who was asking about 4x4? Okay, the windows themselves, I'll tell you again. The windows on the corrugated paper itself, you're going to cut that out a 3x3. Okay? That window is going to be a 3x3. And then your vellum is 4x4. Okay? So I saw that, Dorothy, it looks like you asked, and I think Linda answered. So yes, that's the dimensions, okay? Let's see. Anybody else? Okay, I don't see. I know the little mini stencils, right, Dorothy? They're so awesome, and they're so great to work with. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think we're all good over here, okay? If not, again, I go over everything, and if I don't catch it here, I will after, and I will always answer you guys, because I always do. So that's it for me, okay? Thank you guys so much for joining me. Before I go, let me announce the winner for last week's giveaway, which is from us, okay? And don't forget, for this week's giveaway, you guys are going to announce it next week on our lives. I'm going to be doing mine at 10, and Anne's going to be doing hers at 2 Central Time, okay? 2 $50 gift cards from Stencil Girl, okay? So we're going to be giving away 2 of those. Don't miss out. Like, comment, and share my video here. And make sure that you hashtag Bella Crafts, okay? All right. So that's it for me today. Let me announce last week's winner, and that is Linda Weber. Now, I did not see Linda pop in today, so I will be in contact with her. Congratulations, Linda. You have won a prize package from Anne and I will be getting in touch with you. So, all right. All right, everybody, you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for hanging in with me. This was a really rough morning, and I appreciate you hanging in there. Okay, you guys are awesome. Awesome, awesome. I love you all. I really do. All right, everybody, you guys have a great week. Don't forget that Anne is going to be going live in just about 45 minutes, so you don't want to miss that. She's going to show you how to do that beautiful checkbook cover. Okay, so make sure that you check her out, and I will see you all next week. Same time, same place. Until then, you guys have a safe week, and don't forget to take some time to craft, because it's good for your soul. Yeah, and after all of this craziness that's going on in our world right now, you guys, we need something good for our souls. All right, have a great week, everybody. I'll see y'all next week.